I was just chatting with a guy who was very ignorant about Jesus' teachings and the teachings of the Torah. He said that Jesus is a liar because Jesus said you should love your enemies. I said, well, it says in the Torah to be good to your enemies. He says it does not say in the Torah to be good to your enemies. Let's have a look.
Exodus 23, verse 4. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. That is being good to your enemy. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying under its burden, and you would refrain from helping it, in other words, you don't want to help this guy because he hates you, he's your enemy, you shall surely help him with it. Leviticus 19, verse 18. You shall not take vengeance, nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord.
God did not say to love your neighbor as yourself, only if your neighbor is your friend and not your enemy. And we have many examples throughout the scriptures of the patriarchs practicing this virtue. Look at Jacob, who was deceived by Laban. He didn't bear a grudge against Laban. Look at Joseph, who was left for dead by his own brothers, who was so miserably treated by Potiphar and Potiphar's wife, so miserably treated by a lot of people, yet he did not bear a grudge. He loved his enemies. Somebody would say, oh, well, look at David. He took the head off of his enemy. But David's greatest enemy was King Saul, who tried to do him in over and over again. But David did not bear a grudge against King Saul. Look how he loved King Saul. Look how he forgave King Saul. When he had an opportunity to do whatever he wanted to with King Saul, he did nothing. He let him live. This is what a lot of people do not understand. There are two different kinds of laws. There are war laws, and then there are personal laws. Just like with every nation today, when you're on the battlefield, different laws apply, as opposed to you just walking down the street. You cannot use war laws in your own personal life, or else you're going to get arrested pretty fast. In context, in Jesus' day, you had a lot of hypocrites that were breaking the laws that I just read. In Exodus chapter 23 and Leviticus chapter 19, they were breaking the personal laws, and they were using the laws for judges, the laws for justice, and the laws for war to justify it. In other words, they were hiding behind commandments like eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Those commandments are only for the judges of Israel. Those are only for the Sanhedrin. They were hiding behind them to justify their breaking the other commandments. It is in that context that Jesus said you shall love your enemy, which is just simply a summary of Exodus chapter 23 verses 4 and 5 and Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18.